Here's a song called Wonderful.
You are perfect in your own way. You are beautiful in your own way. Every day now, make it your day, 'cause it's wonderful in its own way. There's just a one you and one me, and that's wonderful in its own way. There's just a one you and one me, and that's wonderful in its own way, in its own way. Life has chose you to express yourself just as you are, just as you are, without fear. Plant a new thought, watch it grow up in its own way. Life has chose you, life has chose you to express yourself just as you are. There's just a one you and one me, and that's wonderful in its own way. There's just a one you and one me, and that's wonderful in its own way. A one in a billion is what you are. That alone changed the world. I am grateful, I am grateful. There's just a one you and one me, and that's wonderful in its own way. There's just a one you and one me, and that's wonderful in its own way, in its own way.
Well, good morning. Welcome to Agape. Yeah, can you believe it's already been a week? Well, welcome here. Do me a favor. Check in. Let me know you're out there. One of the most important things that I find, your comments, your checking in gives me the feedback so that I can design what I'm going to speak about and respond to what you desire. See, I don't want to give you what I want to give you what you want. So do check in, whether you're on Facebook, whether you're on YouTube, it doesn't matter to me. Say hi, tell me where you're from, give me your comments, give me your questions. But if you're here for the first time, I want you to know that agape means unconditional love. Martin Luther King described it as the love of God operating through the human heart. And when we at Agape talk about love, we talk about acceptance. So if I say to you, do you love yourself? What I'm really asking you is, do you accept yourself as you are? And when I say accept yourself, I mean all of you, not part of you, all of you. The good, bad, the ugly, it doesn't matter. Love means to accept because there's no judgment in love. And that's what we try to do here at Agape. We try to be with each other in a totally accepting way. So that allows each of us to be authentic. And I want you to know that we are a worldwide spiritual community. Yeah, that's right. We're worldwide. We've got people, we've got groups in Lebanon, in Europe, we've got that. And what we do is we teach a practical way of living that is centered in the science of mind. Our vision is a world of conscious individuals supporting each other's evolution. Because we realize it's difficult to go through this world without the support of others, especially in times like we're facing now. I mean, we've got more contrasts going on in the world than we've ever had. So if we can be with like-minded individuals, we can remind each other of who we really are. We can hold each other accountable for maintaining our vision on what we want and not what we don't want. What we value at Agape is conscious awareness, personal growth, authenticity, and community. You see, we were not meant to be alone. We were meant to be with one another, to support one another on this journey that is life. And so with that in mind, check in if you haven't already. Please do that. But let's take a moment and let's start to go within. Let's slow this process down. And so I invite you to become comfortable wherever you're seated. Bring your back to a straight and upright position. Close your eyes, hands gently resting on your lap, and bring your awareness to your breath. Consciously focusing in on the breath moving in and out. As it comes in, visualize the breath nourishing. As it goes out, visualize the breath purifying. In this deeper, more relaxed state, I want you to notice your body and notice whatever sensations you may be feeling. And realize that you are not those sensations. Now realize that you're not your body. You're that which is observing whatever you are that has a body. Realize that you're not your crazy thoughts, but you have a mind that has those crazy thoughts because you can observe the thoughts. So by being the observer, you separate yourself from the identification with a body and a mind. They are yours to use. And so it is in this state that we realize that we are the control, we are the power, we are the creators of our life experience. And so I invite you to open your mind now to hear new thoughts, to hear new ideas that are empowering for you, that allow you to create a more expansive and fulfilling life. That is your purpose. To fully experience all that life has to offer. And the power to do that is right where you are, it is right where I am. Each of us is an individualization of the one. So knowing that, we can bring our awareness back into our body, bring our awareness back into our mind, fully open and receptive to new ideas. So I invite you to gently start to move your hands, your fingers, your toes, maybe your shoulders, move your neck around. And when you're ready, open your eyes and welcome this perfect new day. Well, my talk today is something that just popped into my mind. And my title is Never, ever stop. Never, ever quit. Never, ever give up. And you know, I put that talk together and then this popped out on the web. And I thought it was a perfect example. No matter how dire you look at that frog's not quitting. And think about it, I think the frog's going to get out of that. I know it's a silly example, but isn't it not profound? Isn't it not profound? There's possibly no chance that that frog has any ability to get out of the mouth of that bird. And yet the frog found a way. It's not going to quit. That is a motto for living. One of the things that Ernest Holmes did is he wrote affirmations. And one of my favorite affirmations that Ernest Holmes used was, there is one life, that life is God's life, that life is perfect, That life is my life now. So break that down. There's only one. There's one life. We're saying it's God's life. It's the infinite's life. It is perfect. Everything in the life of the infinite is perfect. And you and I and everyone are creations out of the infinite, where the infinite is expressing itself through us. Therefore, if we are expressions of the infinite, we're a part of the one life. We're a part of the infinite's life, and we're part of the perfect life. It is in that embodiment, in that realization, that we find our truth. And here's what we know about the infinite. To the best of our ability, life is eternal. The infinite always was and always will be. If you and I are created out of the infinite, then we are eternal. We always will be. So if you're eternal, can you ever give up? Is it even possible? Or are you going to be going through eternity as an individualization and a creator? You know, this is something that I would like to say, I know. I know this is true, but I don't know. It's my belief. It's my belief what happens. Because I won't know until I die. And I'll either find out it's true, or I'll find out it's something different than what I believe it's true. But I'll find out then. But right now, the best that I have come up with is that it, the divine, the universe, God, is eternal. And I've defined that if it is eternal and it is infinite, then I am one with it. Therefore, if I'm one with it, I must be eternal. So I can't give up on life because I am life itself. And with God being eternal, the infinite being eternal, and I'm one with it, then I am one with it. And you see, if I am one with it, and it creates everything, then I'm a creator. I'm a creator on the microcosm level, not on the macrocosm level. I create my life experience. The universe, the infinite, creates the all experience. But I'm a creator, and so are you. So if I have the ability to create, and I discover how to use that ability to create, would I ever give up? Would it even really enter my mind? The only way it would enter my mind is if I didn't believe I had the ability to create. Here's what I know about my body. I believe that I'm able to go through all of my life and have my body serve me and do everything that I want to be able to do. A lot of people don't have that belief. But I've had that belief my entire life. And so I've lived a life that way. I've done the things, the eating, the drinking of water, the exercise, the relief of stress through meditation. So here I am, right now today, 70 years old, and I have zero limitations. I have zero physical handicaps. I need zero meds. Because I'm the creator of my body. Now, there are certain things I cannot create. I cannot, at least I don't have the belief I can create a full head of hair. I don't believe I can get rid of maybe the few wrinkles I have, just a very few wrinkles that I have. I don't believe that I can just immediately turn my hair back to the brown it was when I was a kid without pulling out a tube of dye. And I'm just going to tell you, I would never dye my hair. I just don't believe that a man dyeing his hair is very attractive. I just don't. But that's an opinion, again. But I am able to create a body that I know today, if it were open, if I had the opportunity, I could go to the Himalayas and hike in the Himalayas. I know that. I can do that. I know how strong I am. I know what the endurance I have is. And I am very young with that. I can do whatever I want. So I've consciously created my body. Here's the thing that I'll share with you. Am I a creator? Can I create things differently than they are? I haven't shared this story for a while, so I'll share it today. In the year 2000, I went to the doctor, and the doctor had a concern, and I had an MRI, and it was determined that I had a brain tumor. I had a small tumor the size of a BB. It was not malignant, it was benign, but the tumor would grow. It was called an acoustic neuroma. And the doctor said to me, you need to have surgery. You need to have brain surgery, where they go in, pop your head out, pop the top of your skull out, go into your brain, and they take the tumor out. I'm familiar with it because my father had that. I said, I was in panic initially, I want you to know. I was scared to death. And I said, if these principles work, can I get rid of that tumor? And so I went to the gentleman who was my mentor at the time, Reverend John. His last name escapes me right now. But he's a unity minister. And John said to me, Lee, meditate, visualize, and change your diet. Reverend John Webster was his name. And so I decided to take a year. And I meditated every day, twice a day. I became a vegan after doing research. I also visualized every day Pac-Man in my head eating the tumor up. 1 year after I was diagnosed with the acoustic neuroma, I went back and I had an MRI, and the tumor was gone. The doctor said, must be a mistake. Must be a mistake. And he looked at the prior MRI, he looked at this MRI, and he says, it's gone. I said, thank you. I got my affirmation. When I got that affirmation, I realized I am a creator, and I have powers that most people don't believe they have, and yet we all have them. But here's the key thing. You've got to really build belief. That's why I gave myself a year. I gave myself a year because I knew I needed time to build the belief that I could do what I'm doing. So I had to actually do the work while building the belief and then measure it to make sure I got the result. I don't like fooling myself. I don't like lying to myself. And sometimes in spirituality, we lie to ourselves. I believe prove everything for yourself. Don't believe Lee Wolak. Don't believe anything I say. Just because I've got the title Reverend, don't believe me. Prove it for yourself. Now you've got the proof. You are the person. You know you're a creator. What if you truly knew you were eternal and you could create? What would you do differently? What would you begin to do today? What would you let go of in your body? What would you let go of in your relationships? What would you let go of in your finances? What would you let go of in any aspect of life? If you knew you were eternal and you could create, knowing that you never ever get to the end, you would just stay on course. Because it's deadlines, self-imposed deadlines, that cause us to feel that we're failures. It's doubting that we have the ability when we have the ability. I was told when I was in the corporate world and I was 40 years old that by the time I was 45, I would have a belly and I would not be in the physical shape that I am now, or I was then. I want you to know, I'm 30 years later, I'm in every bit as good a shape. In fact, I probably think I'm in better shape than I was when I was at 40. I chose not to believe what other people said. I chose to believe that I could create a body different than everyone else. You can do the same. I'm not an exception. I'm an example. We all have that same creative power in us. You see, we're always in the creative process, whether we really realize it or not. Our mind is always creating our experience, because what is our mind? Our mind is a camera that has a filter on it. That filter is our beliefs and our perceptions, and how the world comes to us depends on the filter, the belief and the perceptions that we've got in front of the lens of the camera. So if we understood that the creative process is based on the filter we put in front of the lens, we can control the lens that we put in front. And that, my friends, is our beliefs. And I've defined this so many times, but here we go again. Our beliefs are our thoughts, our words, our actions, and feelings aligned toward a specific result, held persistently and consistently, consciously and unconsciously. That's the filter which you see life. And if you want to know what filter you've got, just look at your life. What you see will tell you what you believe. You can't escape it. Your life will reflect back to you exactly what you believe at this time. And it takes time to change that process. But realize, you're creating 24/7, 365 for eternity. So what may seem impossible, it's not. You've got all the time and you've got all the power right where you are to do that. You see, we only stop. We stop trying. We give up when we forget we're creators. And here's what I know is, when we're not creating, our soul, that infinite part of us, will release the body. The soul's purpose is expansion. Having a body, having an ego are for the purpose of expansion. When the body and the ego are no longer expanding, creating, the soul says, okay, I'm going to release the body and ego so I can go on with my journey. So why stop? I'm 70 years old and I truly believe I am just beginning my life. I'm actually in the process of completing my first book at 70. I don't see myself ever retiring. I see myself teaching with my very last breath. Because I know it's an eternal journey, and I am doing what I love. The question I want to ask you is, have you discovered what you love? If you haven't, that's where you start. Figure out, no matter what age you are, no matter where you are in the world, no matter what sex you are, no matter what your experiences have been, figure out what you love and do it. Never, ever, ever give up. Be the frog. No matter what's happening to you, know that the frog in you will find a way. Let's pray. I know there is one. It is infinite, it is all-knowing, it is everywhere present, it has always been, it always will be. I know that it is the seen, the unseen, the unknown, the known, and the unknowable. I know right here and now that because it is infinite, that I and every person is one with it. We are all individualizations of it. So the very power, the very wisdom, the very qualities of the infinite are within me and within you. Knowing that to be the case, I know that I am a creator and that each of you are creators. And as we go through this life, I now see divine wisdom flowing to me, flowing through you. And that wisdom is guiding and directing each of us into the creative element, that which juices us. That's what gives us life. That's what we can't wait to do. And we find ways to do it. We are led by the wisdom within us. We listen deeper. We feel deeper, we think deeper, we act deeper, and we become magnificent creators. And as we become those creators, we start to see the demonstration of our work. The creative process bursts within us, the experience we desire, and as we get that birth within us, we create even more because we get so excited that we can do this. We've discovered our power and we want to use it every moment of every day and create the most magnificent life we can for ourselves. And in doing so, we become an example to everyone that we meet. So having implanted these words within the infinite mind, I know that the infinite mind will take it and make it so. And so I bless these words. I bless this prayer. I bask in the glory of the demonstration, and I am in gratitude. And it is in a state of gratitude that I release all doubt and concern, knowing that it is done. Knowing it is done, I let it be. And as I let it be, I simply affirm it as I say, and so it is. Amen. So I want to invite you in this state of oneness to say our treatment for financial freedom together. You're there. You're hearing my voice. Say it out loud with me. The universe will hear it and you will benefit. I live in gratitude, knowing that I am financially free to do what I want, when I want, and how I want. And so it is. Now you get the chance. You get the chance to support this work called Agape. Because it's through your giving that we're able to bring this work to the world. I want you to know, without you, we couldn't do what we're doing. And our vision is to bring this teaching to millions of people. Please use the law of giving and receiving and support Agape. You can do that by texting to give. You can scan the QR code in front of you. You can go and click on the link on Facebook or on YouTube that's right there. You can actually sign up. If you click on the QR code or you go to agapespiritualcenter.com and click the Give tab, you can sign up and become a reoccurring giver. If you're an automated reoccurring giver, we give back. We give you free classes. If you're giving a certain amount, you can have a monthly call with me, one-on-one coaching, along with free classes. So we don't ask you to give. We ask you to give because we're supporting you. And we understand there's always an equal exchange of energy for what you receive. That's why we ask, because we know what we're giving is a benefit. So if you would do that, I would so love it. Also, if you're interested in receiving my daily thoughts in an email, or you're interested in getting an email once a week that tells you what you can plug into at Agape, use the QR code or go to agapespiritualcenter.com and sign up for our newsletter. This way you don't miss any of the things. Some of the things I want to share with you that we do to connect daily. We have meditation on Zoom. Anyone is invited to do it. 7 a.m. every day live with me in person. At 8 a.m. on Facebook and YouTube, I do about a 10-minute talk on what's going on in my life. And you can respond. You can be a part of that. We do live, in-person, and online services every Sunday at 10:30. We have meditation in person at 10 a.m. on Sundays. And we have Agape gatherings on Wednesdays at 1:30 p.m. and at 7 p.m. Everyone is welcome to be a part of that. I've got a couple workshops that are coming up. On the 23rd of October, I've got a free workshop on Zoom. It's about debunking the myth of love, where I go in and we talk about love together. and we'll explore it, you and I together. And you can sign up for that by hitting that QR code, or you can go to agapespiritualcenter.com. And then the following week on Saturday, I'm doing my values determination process. This is the single best thing I do. It's the work of Dr. John DeMartini, and I am licensed in this. I've been trained in this. I've actually done this with hundreds of people, where we sit down and figure out what are your, not mine, what are your individual, your top values, the things that make you tick, so that you can start living your most authentic life. If you think you know what your values are and you've not done the workshop, I invite you to find out if you're right, because I promise you, you will learn things you've not heard before. If you need prayer support from one of the Agape practitioners, we've got 3 of them. Go online to Agape Spiritual Center and you'll find a form there where you can sign up, and they will gladly support you in prayer or can support you in counseling. We are here to serve you. It's what we do because we love to do it. With that in mind, I want to take a moment and thank you for taking time out of your busy life and being with us here. If you liked it really a lot, share it with others. There's nothing greater you can do than to share truth, or what you perceive to be truth, that will help others. You will be giving them a gift. So, you're a creator. You're infinite. You never, ever, ever, ever quit. Go be you, and know that I love you and accept you just the way you are. Until next time,